Hey guys, it's Msfili. Welcome back to the channel. So today's video, I just want to talk about using Ozempic and how it seems to have been affecting my mood substantially. Because I've talked to people about it, and especially people that I see on a daily basis, and even they have pointed it out that from when I first started taking Ozempic back in April to now, which is like November, that my mood and my mental health has almost been going on a downward spiral. I personally believe, which I'm undiagnosed though, that I have borderline personality disorder. And because I have all of the symptoms, all of the characteristics of someone who would have borderline personality disorder. But I'm still waiting to get diagnosed for that. As for now, I personally believe that I do have it. But because I've had it for a while, and it seems to have, when I reflect on my life, the borderline personality disorder seems to make sense on why my life has been the way it is. But ever since I started Ozempic, it almost seems to have heightened my borderline personality disorder to the point where it's just extremely elevated. I am depressed a lot lately. I remember before, like if you've been following the channel, you know that I've been in bouts of mood swings, lows, highs, whatever. But it normally doesn't last continuously and long. Now it's almost like constant, where I'm constantly down, I'm constantly empty, I'm constantly feeling unworthy, I'm constantly feeling like I lack something, I constantly feel just mentally, psychologically drained. But probably the worst thing about everything to me is the emptiness, how I feel very empty. And I felt that way before, but now it's just a constant thing where I feel like nothing is giving me joy or pleasure or happiness or like it isn't, like nothing. Watching a really good TV show, listening to a good song. The only times where I do get a spike of oxytocin, endorphin, whatever, of happiness is usually when I'm out and someone is nice to me. Like someone opens a door and is nice, or someone converses back to me and, and we have a conversation. Like that makes me feel a little bit better. Loki makes me feel better sometimes, although sometimes he annoys me too when he's needy. But it's taking a toll on me. I was talking to a friend and he was like, yeah, I think Ozempic has really affected your mood. Like the timeline is just on par of when I started and when the decline of my mood and my behavior has like happened. I did ask my doctor about it, like if Ozempic affects mood and my behavior and whatever, and he said most likely no. But he did he did refer me to a program for mood disorders. So I'm still waiting on that. It's been about, I don't know, a month or two since I've been waiting. But I'm like scared to make a decision because I don't know. Like I'm scared to go off Ozempic and balloon back again, because right now even Ozempic isn't even working that well. I mean, it is in terms of like maintaining my weight, but in terms of significant weight loss, I mean, I started in April, May, June, July, August, September, October. We're 7 months into Ozempic, and I have only lost 35 pounds in 7 months, which I guess is good, but not enough for me. And I'm scared if I go off on Ozempic and stop taking it, that I'll literally gain everything back and be 315 pounds again. And I don't know if I could deal with that. Like I literally want to, like, you can't say words like that on YouTube, but I literally would feel that way. And even times right now, I feel that way. Not to like, not to the point where I would actually do it, but thinking about it, almost like, what's the purpose? What's the point of even like being around, you know? And I hate thinking like that. And sometimes I think about all the people that I've pushed out of my life and how I was probably in denial about it, where I was probably the reason I pushed most people away, and the reason why I'm not friends with a lot of people, or why I don't have people in my life anymore. I suffer a lot from abandonment issues. That's probably my main um, child core emotional trauma is abandonment. And it's almost like I ruin relationships, so at least it was me who's abandoning them and not them abandoning me. It's almost like I'll abandon someone, I'll cut someone off, I'll ghost someone first before they do it to me. Because if they did it to me, it would be like traumatic, because I suffer from like childhood trauma over abandonment. I really need to figure things out in terms of like my mental headspace, because it's not good. I'd say out of a 1 being like the most down that you can be, 10 being happy, I'm probably at like a 3, 2.5, hovering between that. Sometimes I'll go on walks with Loki and I'll just feel so like serene, at peace. But I know that that isn't going to last. Like that moment, that feeling isn't going to last. So then as quick as it came, it evaporates. Like the feeling of peace and serenity like literally evaporates. And it's times like this where I wish I had somebody to like confide in and just vent to, someone who isn't judgmental or looking to get their point across, but someone who's just like listening and supportive. I don't have that resource, unfortunately. Like lately, I have been feeling alone and just by myself, kind of like I've been left in the jungle to like fend for myself, survival mode. Like I feel like that a lot lately, and just like a weight of pressure on me. No ability to like just take a break and get away and like maybe take a week off from anything, from like thrifting or like from doing YouTube videos. Like I can't. I ain't gonna pay the bills. You know. When you're dealing with like mental health stuff, it's so difficult navigating by yourself. I've navigated my whole life dealing with shit by myself. From being like bullied as a teen and as a kid, suck it up, dealt with it. From, you know, transition, sucked it up, dealt with it, did everything on my own. I'm tired of like not having someone to depend on. I wish I had somebody to depend on, like emotionally. But like even in terms of like friends, if I had friends, they could only be supportive and dependable and emotionally supportive as much as they can. But in the end, the emotional support that I'm craving is from someone who genuinely cares about you, who genuinely wants to see you happy, who genuinely cares for your well-being. And to me, in my mindset, friends don't, they do to a point. They do, this is their care. And then when that wall hits, there is a point where they can't give you anymore. Because they have their own shit going on, their own life shit going on. And I guess that's why I'm always like looking for a boyfriend, because when you have a boyfriend or a significant other, they care about you. Well, they should, like wholeheartedly, almost to a point where, you matter. Aside from them mattering to them, you come second, you know, or sometimes first. And I don't think I've ever had that. I don't think I've ever had anybody care about me and my well-being, truthfully. And that hurts. That really hurts. When you don't have anybody who actually cares about you. Like, there are levels of care, like I've said. Like, people do care. But like I said, the emotional support and care that I'm looking for is a type where someone just completely values you and your well-being. I don't know if that sounds selfish on my behalf, but I don't know.